It's nice to see everybody here tonight. It's a pleasure for us to be back in Albany. This is a market that's very, very important to us. We've got a great fan base here, great alumni base. Obviously, being the capital of our state, of where we're located, makes it even more important. We've got a number of current and former student athletes who've played at Syracuse and done extraordinarily well. I think back to 15 years ago, our national championship team, and Craig Forth was our freshman center. He was from this area, and we have a number of student athletes who are currently on our roster now, on our rosters, from the Capital District. So it's a special place, and it's one that we're very, very pleased to be back and visit tonight. We're coming off another very successful academic and athletic season. In our department, 14 of our teams participated in postseason, including men's cross country making their second consecutive national podium appearance. We had 21 All-Americans this year. We had 4 of our coaches were ACC Coaches of the Year. We had some memorable victories, whether it was our upset of Virginia Tech in the Dome, beating Duke in the Dome on John Gillen's last-second shot, or our women's basketball game where we hosted Duke and we set an all-time attendance record of over 11,000 and played Notre Dame to a last possession game. So a lot of memorable moments this year, just in the Dome, and obviously not only in the Dome, but throughout. Academically, our 600 student athletes had a great spring semester, a GPA of a 3.08, our best ever. So our kids are doing a great job academically and athletically. That's a credit to them. It's a credit to our coaches who emphasize the importance of academics and who support our student athletes. So all in all, it was a really good year. The summer gives us an opportunity to focus on 2017 and 18. And we're excited for the upcoming seasons in all our sports. We compete in a conference that in all sports is as good as any in the country, and we have exhibited the ability in our 4 years of ACC membership to compete at a very, very high level. And we compete, and we are seen as a keen and important contributor to the ACC and to the conference overall. In terms of other developments, I am pleased to announce tonight that at our Middle Tennessee State game on Saturday, September 9th, we will honor our 1987 football team. It's the 30th anniversary of their undefeated season, and we look forward to a memorable weekend to welcome that team back to Syracuse. Obviously a special team in terms of what they accomplished. 11-0 undefeated season, capped by a last-second victory, a 2-point conversion that Michael Owens successfully made against West Virginia. We had 2 All-Americans on that team, Donnie McPherson, who is our senior quarterback. He was the runner-up in the Heisman. He won the Maxwell Trophy as the nation's outstanding player. And Ted Gregory, who was a defensive lineman, and Coach Mack was the National Coach of the Year. So a team that obviously in our laurels and our history stands at the very top of our football program, along with the 1959 National Championship team. It will be a special event and special for us to bring them back to the Dome against Middle Tennessee State. That's a 3:30 start time, so it's a convenient start time for our fans, and to properly recognize them for their achievement. And we've talked to some of the team members. They're excited about the opportunity to come back. They're excited to be honored, and I think we'll see a great turnout from the 1987 team. So that's a little bit of football news tonight, but again, we're pleased to be back in the Albany area, the Capital District. As I said, it's an important area for our fan base, important area for our alums, important in terms of our student athletes. And we look forward to a terrific evening here tonight. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our Hall of Fame basketball coach, Coach Jim Boeheim.
Thank you. It's great to be in Albany. Great area for us. Never forget the 2003 journey through Albany to get to the national championship, and the tremendous support we had here. And of course, our starting center, freshman Craig Forth from Albany, and great student athlete, starter for us for 4 years, and a tremendous player and a great academic All-American every year. So it's great to be back here. Looking forward to what the future brings. We're pretty excited about it, and we're really happy to be in Albany, where we have so many great fans and who really helped propel us to the Final Four in 2003. Thank you. Introduce Q, our great coach, women's coach. Q, come up here.
Well, it's good to be here. Being back in Albany, for me, I started here at Siena. Was my first job, so this is kind of a homecoming to be riding down Wolf Road and being back in Albany. And it's just a great city, great place. And for us as a basketball program, this is just a recruiting hotbed for us. The closer you get to New York City, you start to get into the teams that can really help you recruit at a tremendously high level. And Albany is just a great place for us, and our fan base is starting to grow, and we're starting to get a lot of interest in the Albany area from fans. So for us, it's really great to be here. It's great to be in an area that really appreciates our program, appreciates where we're going, and in future endeavors for us. So, I mean, we love the area, and anytime we can get back to an area that's been productive for us, we're very excited. So moving forward with this area, we're very excited to be here and very excited to increase our fan base.
Questions for Coach Hillsman? Coach, I mean, you just kind of touched on that a little bit, but I mean, how important is it just to, kind of come to these events all around the state, connect with alumni and just keep the kind of Syracuse family going, and, staying connected with all these people?
It's tremendously important to connect. Anytime you have an opportunity to shake hands with people that are really excited about your program, it's an honor and a privilege, and to do that, I think it's very important. So for us, it's good to be here to see some familiar faces and some people that's been supporting our program over the years.
You talk about being excited about the program, and we've seen some great things happen over the last few years. It's some tremendous talent. When you see Sykes and Peterson, both getting graduated from the WNBA. I mean, how excited are you about the growth that you've seen, from your team and about the future?
We're extremely excited. We have a tremendous class coming in. We signed the #2 class in the country. They'll be coming in this year, so we're kind of starting over a bit with our roster, but we're very excited about what we have coming in. You talk about Lex and Britt, what they've done for our program has been tremendous. They've been major contributors to our program since their freshman years, and it's no surprise that they're doing very good in the WNBA at this point.
You expect that your class to play like the same style, fast, just shoot up three, forget it?
That's no question. That's how we are recruiting now. We're recruiting shooters and with the ability even to play fast, and we're recruiting long athletic players that can play the type of pressure defense that we want to play. So we're very excited about the players that's coming in, and they all fit the way we play. Yes.
How long have you been able to recruit specifically to that system? I know you changed it maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, we've been trying to get to that point. It's kind of we get 2 or 3 players that fit what you do, and then you get 2 or 3 more, and you get 2 or 3 more, and finally when we got to our number, we said, well, when we can play 10 players in the style that we want to play, we're going to totally commit to that style, and finally got to that point, and obviously when the dividends was going to the national championship game, so we look forward to doing that again.
Anything else for Coach Hillsman? Thank you, Q, very much.
Thank you.
Coach Boeheim, could we have you answer a couple questions, please? Thank you.
Absolutely.
Questions for Coach Boeheim?
Coach, you mentioned in your statements, coming through this area, that 2003 national championship team. I mean, what are some of the memories that you have in this area coming through here?
The crowd was really, it was almost a home game. It was almost like being in the Dome. Everybody was behind us. It was a very, very noisy crowd. We had to come back in the first game. We were down big early, and the fans were incredible. It really, I thought, made the difference in the game. coming back. It was an absolute home court advantage. It kind of propelled us through Albany, really.
Like I said, one of those players, Anthony. I mean, do you stay close and in touch with him, and has to come be present for the next game?
Well, Carmelo is, has played with us 3 times in the Olympics. We've won 3 gold medals, and he's been great. He came off the bench in 2 of the 3 Olympics and did, just an unbelievable job. And I'm just hoping that he can, they can get better in New York, and he can have a chance to be more successful there. He loves playing in New York, or if some deal is made, he goes someplace. I hope it's someplace where he has a chance to contend.
If I could ask you, I got a chance to cover Tyler Wildhack when he was in high school at Pine Plains, and you could see how talented he was. How do you think his skills will translate to the NBA level, and how do you think he kind of fits in with?
Yeah, he's a perfect fit in the NBA because of his length and his rebounding athletic ability, and he can shoot the ball. He's probably the best shooter going into the league as a big guy. I don't know, Denver seems to have a lot of players, but that usually works its way out, works out somehow. I think he can play in the NBA. I think he will play in the NBA. You just never know how the start goes. Sometimes it's tricky, and it really depends. They've got a lot of forwards, what they do in the off season, who they try to get, but I believe he can play in the NBA and will play in the NBA for a long time.
When you look at what you have coming in this year, what do you think of your incoming class?
Well, we've got a very good class, underrated. They didn't play in the summer league last year in the summer circuit, and so they're not highly rated guys, but we think they're really good players, and they'll get an opportunity to play. We'll be pretty young, but we'll see how it all goes. We've got a couple veteran guards, and that's always important, but we will be pretty young up front.
You have any to play Siena or Albany or the local schools here in the foreseeable future?
We've talked about a game with Siena. We just haven't been. We've offered them. We just haven't been able to get it done.
Would it involve you coming back here and playing
No.
here?
No, it'd be in Syracuse.
So your coaches have gotten a chance to see O'Shea, Howard, and I think Rob at this point. I don't know, any early scouting report?
Yeah, I think they're very, very good players. They'd be top 50 players if they played a summer circuit over here. But when you don't play that, you don't get evaluated. But I think all 3 guys are at worst top 50 players, and those guys are usually capable of coming in and helping. Tyler Lydon was probably 77, and he helped us right away as a freshman. So the evaluations, the numbers, really aren't that important to me. I think these 3 kids are really good players, and obviously we think that adding a veteran guard is going to help us, and if things go the way they should, we'll have Marek will be here from Czechoslovakia. We'll have another guy that's I think a very good prospect. But for us to make a big jump, we need to have Pascal to come back and be healthy, and we think he will. There's no reason he's healthy. We think he can have an influence on the game, and obviously, Frank Howard coming off surgery should be healthy, and it's important that he's ready to play and ready to be a factor, because we know that Tyus Battle's proven himself. He'll be ready to play. But we think our backcourt can be very strong, and that's something that I feel needs to happen for us.
You mentioned Tyler earlier. Did you see Tom Crean's comments? He didn't.
He's an idiot. He said he's not a good shooter. Freshman, sophomore year, he shoots 40% from the 3. That's pretty good for a young player, and I think he had the best shooting statistics at the combine. I think for the big guy, I think overall of the big guys, he shoots. That's what he does. It just shows the ignorance of not doing your work, doing your research and background check, because that's the one. He's athletic and can do a lot of other things, but he can really shoot. So that's when you go from being the 77th rated player out of high school and you're a top 25 pick in the NBA draft, that's a tribute to his work ethic and our program helping him. People always say, well, they don't know if Syracuse players can play defense. Well, here's a guy that was 77 and he's 24 in the draft, so obviously the Syracuse program helps players, because they helped Tyler Ennis and Michael Carter-Williams and Malachi. All those guys went way higher than what people thought they were coming out of high school, so obviously the program helped get them there. And those guys are, Jeremy Grant, are very good defensive players, and we actually spend a lot of time, as you know, in practice playing man-to-man. That's what we do. But there's no question that Tyler Lydon can really shoot the ball. That's not in dispute by anybody. Playing in the NBA when you're a 15 to 30 draft pick, it depends where you land and if there's a space there. You can be really, really good, but if they don't have a space, a place, then you're not going to play. So, he's good enough to play. Is there a place? And that's the thing. Jeremy Grant, I always thought was the most fortunate player we've ever had, because even though he went 39th in the draft, he landed in Philadelphia and he got to play. And now he's still playing. He'll be going into his, I think, fourth year in the NBA coming up. So it's getting an opportunity. Tyler Lydon's really good. He's, better than Jeremy Grant was at the same stage by a fairly good margin. But will he get an opportunity to play? And it's so much harder to make the NBA than people think it is. It's really hard to. But he's got the tools.
Where do you think is a good fit for Dion? Where do you think is a good fit for Dion?
Well, he was good in Miami. He fit well there. I don't know what I don't follow what the negotiations are, but he had a great year. I think he'll land somewhere and probably make pretty good money someplace, I think. He had a good year at the right time.
I could just ask, when you guys open the season against Cornell, you get to coach against your first game. Is there any chatter back and forth? Are you guys kind of excited?
No, I just hope he has a pretty good game and we win.
Jim, do you expect, or do you hope that Merrick and Gino will be on campus for second summer session?
No, they won't be.
They won't be.
They will not be. Merrick is playing in the under 20, and then I think he's going to play in the national team. He's a very highly regarded player over there, and could have played professionally over there. And Gino is not finished until July, mid-July, summer school. So they'll be here in September. All things go right.
Since you play Maryland next season, what do you think of Kevin Huerter's development?
He's a tremendous player. I loved him in high school. He's just a great player, and he's only going to get better. He's a hard worker. Really shoots the ball. He's one of the best players I've seen come out of the Albany area. Upstate New York, really.
You think he's a pro?
Yeah, he's a pro. He's a really good player. Really good player. He can shoot it. When you're big and long and know how to play and you can shoot, that's a very valuable commodity in the game today. He's really good. Really good.
Jim, you mentioned Pascal. That's really important. He seemed to struggle last year.
I don't think so. I think he was fine. He didn't get he was just starting to get comfortable. Whenever you sit out a whole year, it's tough, and the injury just came at a bad time. I think if he'd have been healthy, he would have kept getting better and better, and I think he would have had an impact on the team, and I think he would be obviously ahead of schedule. Now we got to go back through all that again, but he's gotten stronger. He's worked hard in the 2 years he's been with us in the weight room. He's much stronger. I think he can definitely be a factor on the defensive end and rebounding the basketball. I think that's what we need. We have guys that we have some guys that can score, but we need somebody in there, the presence, and he and Barama bring a very, very good presence in there. Barama is most like Bai Musakita of any of the players we've ever had. He's like him, except he's a better offensive player, but he's very active, and I think he will remind people of Bai a little bit.
I know you want players to improve all around, but is there one area or two where you're looking for Tyus to really work on?
You know, he's worked hard. He's a hard worker. He got better. He was great at the end of the year. I think he's really worked hard this summer. He's really gone after it. And, I mean, nobody works any harder. He's gotten better in every aspect of the game. He's putting the ball on the floor better, going to the basket better, and certainly he's shooting the ball at a high level. He'll have a big year. He'll have a very big year for us this year.
I mean, it was thought this was going to be your last season. Now that we all know it's not going to be, does it approach your outlook? Does it change your outlook, your attitude, or feelings heading into?
Yeah, you know, it's just you know, you have to go out and you're rejuvenated in terms of going out and recruiting and pushing and, you know, trying to recruit players. We picked up 3 players this summer, and you know, I think that's something that's going to help our program. People are worried about our next recruit. Our next recruit is going to be sitting out this year at Syracuse, and he's as good as anybody in the country. So I'm very, you know, we have a really good head start on next year, and I think we'll see how this year goes recruiting, but it'll be interesting. But no, it's good to have know that, you know, this is what's going to happen now for a while, for the foreseeable future, and I'm excited about the quality of our young players and the potential for our recruiting class this year and next year, the next couple of years. It was hard to recruit for the last 3 years because of uncertainty, and uncertainty is never good in recruiting. There's too many other things involved, and uncertainty is not a good thing. And you lose kids if they don't think you're going to be there. So I think that there's a certainty to what we're going to do now, and I think that will help us. That will help us.
Dr. Doc Sauerland?
Yeah. We played golf once already this year. Yeah. Okay?
Thanks, Coach.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll take a few questions for John Wildhack.
John, I asked this because people ask me. They've read a lot about the ACC network, infrastructure, investments that other schools have been making this past week. Where is Syracuse at as far as kind of preparing for, you know, putting on its own broadcast?
Chris, we're in great shape, and one of the advantages that we have is the Newhouse School. And the control rooms and the facilities that Newhouse has gives us a tremendous head start, frankly, over any other school. And Newhouse has been a great partner in working with the athletic department in terms of gearing up for the launch of the network in August of 2019. So we're going to leverage the resources that Newhouse has, great collaboration, and I think that's going to make us, you know, we're already prepared. You know, if we needed to do a show in another couple months, we'd be ready. We're also doing a lot of infrastructure in terms of laying fiber and fiber connectivity and camera positions at our Olympic venues, et cetera, that type of thing. And everybody goes through that. You know, that's part of the normal process. But in terms of control rooms and that, we're set thanks to Newhouse. And Dean Lorraine Branham has been a tremendous partner, Neil Coffey, Andy Robinson, and everybody at Newhouse. And I think it just accentuates what a great school Newhouse is, and it, you know, is among the best, if not the best, in the country.
The final part you mentioned. Are you guys kind of even with the other schools on that note, or is that a little behind at this point?
We're right on schedule, Chris. You know, we're right on schedule, and again, we're working, and it's being, you know, laid in the connectivity from our venues to the Dome to Newhouse, et cetera. That's all being completed as we speak.
People always ask, any atmosphere, game day stuff that they should be excited about for football?
You know, I think, you know, we're looking at some things, and there's nothing, you know, there's nothing to share yet concretely, but one of the things that we focused on is how do we improve and enhance the game day experience. And, you know, I'm hopeful that we can introduce a couple things this year which will be beneficial to our fans.
What do you think of the Syracuse salt potatoes?
Pardon me?
What do you think about the Syracuse salt potatoes?
I think the Syracuse, I say the restaurants are sneaky good. There's a number of sneaky good restaurants at Syracuse, and that includes all those who serve the salt potatoes.
Have you seen the Chiefs, the new Chiefs logo?
I have not yet.
It was a little thing on Twitter.
Okay, I've not seen that yet.
How helpful is a tour like this in helping you connect with the fans and the alumni?
I think it's important for us. You know, we did one in Rochester that was really well attended, and there's been some follow-up with the Rochester alumni, and I hope we do the same thing here. I hope it's a great event for our fans tonight, and I hope there's follow-up in terms of how we can work with them, you know, to get our fans from this area to the Dome for whether it's a football game, men's basketball, women's basketball, or any of our sports. So it's important to us.
Anything else for John? Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you.